Netflix?
No!
Is it HBO?
No!
Is it Disney?
No!
Is it Apple TV?
No!
Then it must be Tubi. Tell them they're streaming.
Welcome to Tell 'em They're Streaming. It's a podcast that we do where we watch movies off Tubi and bring them to you. Hi, my name is Robert, and sitting beside me is Australian comedian and former champion in botching. Bocce. Richie Bocce Ball Goodacre. Hey, Richie.
Thank you. Yeah. Australian champion once, and then came third the next year. So look, that was in my peak, which was a long time ago. I peaked earlier when I was about 15. But I'm here now, and you know what? I'm still a champion in the hearts of Australia.
You're a champion in life, mate.
Yeah. No, man.
Hey, I've got a bit of feedback about the show.
Right.
Somebody told me that I make bad jokes. So
Okay.
there you go. That was the feedback. Anyway, apparently
That's a good
apparently-
thing or a bad thing?
apparently
Like,
you're
that-
funny. Apparently
Oh,
you're
okay.
funny, but I make bad jokes. That's what apparently it is. But anyway,
Okay. Well,
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you, and I'm glad I get to riff off your bad jokes to make them good.
How's your week been, Richie?
Yeah, not too bad. I wouldn't say I did much on the weekend, to be honest, but like on I guess more notable thing on Thursday night, I went to see British comedian Bill Bailey, and that was really good. That guy is uber talented. I feel like he could play any just any kind of instrument or any song within and it'll only take him a few minutes to learn it. Like you could be like, oh, play Through the Fire to the Flames by Dragon Force, but do it. Play the guitar with your feet, and he'd be like, oh, yeah, and it would take him half an hour, but he'd get it. Man, okay, look, why do I even try? But there's people who can just do anything, and that's right.
Well, the rumor is that. Hang on, that was pleasant. The rumor is that all comedians are friends. So you'd be friends with Bill Bailey. You could get him on the show, couldn't you?
Yeah, sure. I could definitely get him on the show. It's a shame we're not like in a I'm glad we're not in the era of like lockdowns and all that stuff. But like, if we were in the era of lockdowns, if we had a lockdown like right now, he'd be stuck in Australia, so he'd have free time. But now the water's oyster, and he can travel around anywhere, and then perform a show. His schedule is, there's not much room in his schedule. So I'm just saying, like, COVID sucked, but it was also good for some things. Trapping famous comedians.
Isn't it funny that it took us to 2020 to learn how to use Zoom?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
My voice is gone. Hang on. Sorry about all that. All righty. Let's hope this voice holds up.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to riff on the Zoom thing? You said, took us to 2020 to use Zoom. I don't know how long this program's been around, but you'd think that I knew about Skype, didn't know about Zoom. You'd think that people would have taken advantage of it, wouldn't have taken a pandemic, but people realize, oh, this tool is pretty helpful. Oh, well.
I mean, when we used to do this podcast originally, we used to just do it over the phone and not record it. How big is it now that we're recording it and doing it over Zoom? It's like, whoa.
I know. Holy hell.
All righty. This week's movie is Titanic II from 2010.
Titanic II.
Titanic II.
Titanic II.
Titanic as well. Tubi synopsis is a century after the fateful voyage of the original modern luxury liner Titanic II set sail. Will this ship suffer the same fate as its namesake? I've got no idea. That's intriguing. IMDb has, on the 100th anniversary of the original voyage, a modern luxury liner christened Titanic II, following the path of its namesake. But when a tsunami hurls. I said hurts an iceberg.
I mean, it did hurt it. It hurt it. I mean, it injured the boat.
Hurls an iceberg into the new ship's path. The passengers and crew must fight to avoid a similar fate. Alrighty, cool. Some info, sort of info anyway, on the film. The film is a disaster drama film with Shane Van Dyke being the writer and director, and also starring in the film. It was distributed by The Asylum, which is well known for its horror and B-grade style movies. It's not a sequel, though, to James Cameron's film, though they call it a mockbuster from a 1997 film, like a mockbuster on that film. The RMS Queen Mary was the ship used as the Titanic II. And RMS Queen Mary is also used in the Poseidon Adventure from 1972.
Well, this movie is definitely like you'd think, oh, this is going to be a rip-off of Titanic. It's Titanic 2. No, it's a rip-off of the Poseidon Adventure. But it is, yeah.
Here's some interesting information that people outside of Australia might not know. In April 2012, Australian tycoon Clive Palmer announced plans to construct a modern-day replica of Titanic to sail the same route of the original. The ship's launch date was set for 2016, then 2018, and then 2022. Blue Star Lines stated in a press release dated September 27, 2018, the construction would resume, but the company's website hasn't been updated since then. So not too sure. Have you heard about what's going on with big Clive? Sorry, I don't mean to say big. Clive Palmer's Titanic II ship.
No. I imagine, sometimes just throw ideas out there to get people attention. Like, oh, we're gonna have Titanic 2. He could say like, oh, we're gonna open, Jurassic Park in.
He did, didn't he? Isn't that true though? Didn't he? Hasn't he got some big dinosaur park or something or other?
I thought he did something, but yeah, like but he could, he could say something like that, and people are like, oh my god, and like, and then wait, and then he's like, oh, I didn't realize people would pay that much attention. Now I've got to actually, I actually put the wheels in motion to actually make this work. I was just I was just floating this random weird idea out there. And now you want me to do something with it.
Do you reckon he saw Titanic 2 and went, yeah, I'm going to do that?
Yeah. I'm going to, yeah. I don't know, like, possibly. And there's also, like, a lot of dinosaur stuff on Asylum, so maybe that's where he got the idea for building a dinosaur park.
Well, there actually has been a sequel to Titanic 2, which came out earlier this year called Titanic 666. I think the other name was Titanic 3, but Titanic 666 as it's known. And if you're watching this from America, you can actually watch this on Tubi right now. But unfortunately, here in Australia, it has not been released yet. But as soon as it's released, it's going to be on Tubi.
And we'll probably do it.
Yes, we've got to. I'm gonna whack the trailer on not just Titanic 2, but Titanic 666 at the very end of the podcast. You've got to watch it. It's just watch it. That's all I can say. As mentioned before, directed and written by Shane Van Dyke. Shane Van Dyke was born in 1979 and is the son of Barry Van Dyke and is the grandson of good old Dick Van Dyke, from Mary
He's
Poppins.
Still alive. He's
He is
still
still
alive. He's like 96 or something, 94, 95, right around there.
Yeah, he hangs out with my 99-year-old grandmother.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm jealous.
He has acted in TV shows like Diagnostic Murders from 1993 to 2001 and Murder 101 from 2006 to 2008. He
likes murder, apparently. There's a show called Murder in the title. He's like, okay, yeah, his agent's like, he goes to his agent, look, I'm only going to be in movies if murder's in the title. If it's not, I'm not going I'm not gonna be involved.
Well, I think
So
both these
no romantic comedies. This is like love is murder.
I think both
Uh,
his dad and his granddad are in both these shows as well. So it's a Van Dyke-a-thon. He also co-wrote, and this is probably the most famous film I could find. He co-wrote the film The Silence from 2019.
okay, I've heard it. Wasn't Peek Behind the Curtain? Is that a movie that we're going to watch like just individually, like because we spin a wheel for our own sort of other
Our own
movies that
pleasure.
our own kind of yeah. And I'm pretty sure The Silence was on there, but then they made to change it because it was removed from Stan or Netflix, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the movie. So that would have been interesting if we had actually had you
It
seen
would have
that.
been good to see it before doing this.
Yeah.
Some of the actors is Bruce Davison. Other stuff he's done was X-Men in 2000. Maria Westbrook, who's a voice actor in the game Star Wars: The Old Republic from 2011. Brooke Burns was in Shallow Hal in 2001. Michelle Glavan is from Community from 2009 to 2015. And Carrie Van Dyke, another Van Dyke. And he was in ER from 94 to 2009. All righty, mate. Guess what time it is? Film chat.
Film chat.
Film chat.
Film chat. Yeah. I mean, who did so? What character did Shane Van Dyke play?
The main dude, the good-looking main dude,
Oh,
Hayden.
okay, yeah. Right. Well, who I dubbed when I was watching this, I dubbed him the Aldi Dolph Ziggler.
And people who don't know who Dolph Ziggler is,
Yeah, I'm sure you'll put up a thing when we release this episode. You'll put up a side by side picture between him and you'll be like, oh,
if I can do that, I'll do that. So yes, Dolph Ziggler is the Aldi version. The film starts off with quite a nice montage of all these different cold areas. And then we see a dude surfing so close to ice walls and he sees that ice walls collapse. Can you do that? Can you? Oh, you obviously can, but go surfing where there's like all these massive ice walls?
I guess you can. I wouldn't encourage it. But yeah, maybe his mindset is set in like the early 2000s. You know, when everything in the early 2000s, like movies and games and stuff, was extreme. So yeah, maybe he's just living life on the edge, man. Extreme.
I'm going to go surfing near ice walls. Oh, yeah. I mean, we get some shots of the Titanic II there, and I thought at the time, like, nothing can go wrong with this ship. You know, it's going to be a nice, safe journey, obviously.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's actually yeah. You think it's going to be bad, just because it's got a name with some stigma attached doesn't mean things are going to go wrong. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to be like superstitious or anything, but like if a famous ship, had was caused like was a part of a huge disaster where heaps of people died. Like I mean maybe it's better to call anything to do with Titanic. Maybe just call it Bodie McBoatface.
Which was in a bit of bad taste. Yeah, Bodie McBoatface, isn't that what they were going to call some fairy in England?
Yeah, because I think it was either England or here because they kind of put out a survey or something, and that with all the different names people couldn't name it, and then someone put Bodie McBoatface, and that got voted, and that voted as the name. So I think there is a boat out there called Bodie McBoatface.
No, I think the government reneged. Or the people that owned the boat reneged and didn't do it. I believe there's a story, which is a shame.
It's a shame. I understand. Like, you maybe want to be more serious, but sometimes it'd be kind of cool if you get the name to have a sense of humor about yourself. Just kind of like how, like, when there was when like John Key, New Zealand, former New Zealand Prime Minister, was he wanted to change the look of the flag, so he got like all these people submitting different the different designs for a potential flag. It was like a sort of almost a competition sort of thing. And then one, I think it was a kid, he submitted a drawing of a kiwi with like lasers coming into its eyes,
Oh, cool.
and I'm like, no, that would be amazing, but that should be the flag. I don't think you should, I don't think there's a need to change a flag, but if you have to, go with this one. Hey.
And also, if you left it as Boaty McBoatface, imagine the tourism you get. People taking photos of next to Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I don't know. I know, just because something's silly doesn't mean it's not marketable.
No, exactly. Well, getting back to Titanic McBoatface, Hayden Walsh, who, as we mentioned earlier, is played by Shane Van Dyke, gets off this helicopter and then starts strolling towards the ship with, look, 4 or 3 beautiful women hanging off him. I say 4 or 3 because in one shot there's 4, and then the next shot there's only 3. Then they get into 4 women get into an elevator, and then when the or lift, as we say in Australia, and then when the elevator opens, only 3 beautiful women are in there. So I got confused with that.
Maybe one of them got trapped down one of them got trapped down there. But yeah, but then not only that, he's like all these hot babes surrounding him. But then like these other 2 sort of sometimes I'll get into it before, but all these characters look the same. But
racist.
But it's 2 sort of chicks are talking, and they're like one's into him, and one is obviously his
used to be into him.
His ex or something. I'm like, man, has he rooted everybody on the ship? That's sort of like one. I'll get into that. That's one thing I kind of noticed about this movie. It's just like, yeah, like apart from like Bruce Davison, like everybody on this ship is young. Like,
yes.
but you think like, I don't know. I just feel like cruise ships and like just on ships and stuff. That's more of like a retirement thing to do. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it would be sort of more older people. But no, everybody like even like Shane Van Dyke's character. I'm like, dude, he looks like he just like graduated from college. Like,
well,
yeah.
I jotted down that the bloody captain. The captain looks like he's like 22 years old. You don't become a captain of a massive ship when you're that young of age.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, back to the ladies and Hayden Walsh. One of the ladies, in a very phallic way, says, "It's big," and then Hayden replies with, "Aeroplanes are big, babe. Trains are big. This is monumental." Didn't they have the perfect opportunity by saying, "This is Titanic"?
Yeah,
because isn't that what the word means?
Yeah, I know. You would. You missed opportunity for a joke there. Like look, I feel like we'll get into it, but I feel like the writing this needed some work. Just gonna be honest. So yeah, like that would have been a good editor's note if you were in the writer's room. Like, look, your name, the movie's Titanic. Use the name, and it is clever. But no, they're not really clever, as we'll get to.
Well, that's probably not a pretty good time to ask about what did you think of the special effects and the CGI?
Oh, that was special, all right.
Jeez.
Not in a way that oh yeah, like that look, I mean there's probably not much you could do with a budget of $20. I don't know how the budget is, but yeah, like special effects, so it was and it was very obvious, especially at the start when they're Bruce Davison and they're visiting the impacts of the iron, the iceberg kind of breaking away. It was very bad green screen. That was some very bad green screen going on. Yeah, and yeah, look, I mean, I wasn't expecting much like in special effects wise from a movie that is kind of doesn't try to pretend it's not low budget. So it was fun what it was. I've seen worse special effects. Let's put it out there. But yes, to call them great would be a lie.
I mean, the thing was, is if this was late 80s, you'd go, these are actually really good special effects. But where film was 2010, they should look way better than that. And I also there was this bit where they're looking at all the ice collapse and all that being catastrophic, and they show this computer where there's these graphs on the computer to show what has happened. The graphs were just graphs. They didn't have anything there saying, you know, this goes here and this is why that. They're just like, this look like they've just gone to Google Images and just pulled off 4 different what graphs look like.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of it's weird. Yeah, again, I think they were like, look, well, no one will be perceptive to actually notice that unless like 12 years from now, someone does, 2 people from Australia do a podcast about Titanic II, and then they notice that there's nothing on the graph, and then call us out. And now, look, I'm sure like these casts are like unknown enough that we might hit their radar. I don't know. We might.
I so would love to do an interview with Shane Van Dyke, and I reckon we probably could at some stage. So,
yeah, that'd be cool. I'd only really, I mean, like I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything, but I'm just pretending to like, yeah, cool and everything. Can you get like Dick on the phone? I want to talk to him.
you could ask him. Are you really the grandson of Dick Van Dyke? Well, can you send us a dick pic then?
A dick pic, yeah.
Okay, my jokes are bad. Thank you, listener or viewer, whatever you want to call yourself. Yeah. There's a scene when they're in the ice thing too, and the ice is collapsing and melting, and the woman just turns to the captain and goes, "Of course, there's no such thing as global warming." Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah, that was. I did notice that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a clever line, but yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I noticed that one. I don't know what else to say about it, but yeah.
I mean, some of the scenes felt like they were out of Bold and the Beautiful. There's one particular one where Hayden and Amy talk about their past and Amy's father, which is, of course, the captain. And just like, whoa, this is like Bold and the Beautiful, but worse.
Yeah, some of the dialogue is just weird because it makes the characters look dumb. Like there's like well, yeah, like 2 scenes particularly involving this same dude, the captain. Who, by the way, I thought when he started, I thought at the start he called himself Captain Mayhem. I'm like, I didn't realize a different name. My Captain Mayhem sounds like a great name for an '80s wrestler. But and then
or a really bad superhero.
But then he was also like in at the start he was in like the cockpit in the front seat with another guy he called Snipes. I'm like, these are very very kind of like macho GI Joe names. But yeah, like there's one scene where like he's on the phone to his daughter, like warning her of impending doom basically, and then and he even says like, because I don't think he gets the answer machine, and he goes oh yeah, it's Dad here, just be careful or whatever, and then the chick beside him goes, oh, is that your daughter? No shit. What a dumb question.
No.
But then, like afterwards, like he knows everything that he knows the catastrophe that's about to happen, and then the someone someone from some crew or whatever is able to reach him, and he goes, oh, Titanic II, what seems to be the problem? Or so I'm like, you know the problem. You know what the problem is. you alerted them to the problem, and they go, there's an issue now. Okay.
Well, before we actually get to the iceberg and the ship, there's this bit where they're still on these ice place, wherever it is, like it looks like the North Pole or the South Pole, but I've got no, it's not there. It's somewhere in America, I think. And there's this dude just doing his job, getting like snow or ice scoops. So like scooping ice into these like little jars. They look like, something you'd put coffee in. And then he accidentally drops one. And this tiny vessel, this tiny container drops, starts all the ice splitting. Did the container do that, or was it just coincidental?
Yeah, I feel like coincidental, but it is weird. Yeah, I did notice like throughout the film as well. So obviously they didn't have the like obviously like from the outside of the ship you could see like that they tried to encapsulate and pinning doom with the weight with the tsunami and stuff, but like they never really like had to deal with much flooding inside into the like there was like then in the original Titanic it's like the water's rising, it's getting worse and worse. It's like they basically for most of the movie they're just like trotting over puddles. It feels like there's no like at one point. Okay, I need to explain to the because maybe I missed something. Didn't it, at one point, didn't like some of the ship, there wasn't there an explosion?
In the ship.
Yeah, so the ship just
Mm.
how the fuck happened?
I don't know.
But yeah, I just find it funny. Like the main thing they got to worry about, like with a tsunami, is water. But like a lot of the the carnage or the deaths happened during other stuff. Like there was well, I can't again. All these characters are saved, but like there was one where they're trying to get through this door, and like he's trying to jam open the door with like an axe and stuff, and then and then one girl gets through, the other one just gets crushed, and it just goes and the way it's done, I wasn't supposed to laugh, but it was look kind of funny.
Yeah, but it was really weird because it's not even the girl that was going through the door is the one that was the other girl that somehow got in between the door
Yeah,
and she got squashed. Yeah, it was that was funny, but they're pretty bad as well. Um,
yeah, yeah.
so anyway, because the captain tells uh his daughter, like you said on the messages, and tells the captain of the ship that for safety reasons, um, everyone should move to the. Oh, actually, I don't think the captain told this. For safety reasons, they decided to move down to the bottom of the ship. Um, and then we see a submarine get destroyed by ice, so we know bad things are coming. Um, and then the message that you mentioned from he heard Amy's dad has whatever you do, don't go to the lower decks. Get on the lifeboats. So
Yeah. Which, by the way, it was weird. They tried to shoehorn like a big plot point from the first like Titanic, which is like like women and children first on the boat. But yeah, but at least like in the first one they explain it, But like there was one where it was, they're all running and then someone's yelling out "women first." I'm like,
yes,
Like, why? And the fact you said women first, it means like there's no children on board at all. That's interesting.
I, I liked it when they all got spooked and people just started running everywhere because they were scared or spooked, and then
Yeah.
people just fell over for no reason. Like people were just falling over, and then it went.
Oh, not only falling over, they always like I worked this out. They fell over, but they would always fall over on the last step. They go,
Yes.
oh, did it? It's like, but I feel like also like sometimes these low budget movies you're not supposed to notice it, but they do reuse some footage.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like that was a case with people running because I think they use this. I'm pretty sure it's all the same people sometimes. Uh,
Alrighty. Well, we're saying some maybe not so great things about this movie, but there is something really spectacular that this movie did that I was not expecting at all. It hit an iceberg.
and
Titanic 2 hit an iceberg, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so anyway, but
even
when
though
they
it's
sorry, go
supposed to
on.
have like wasn't they're trying to explain it like scientifically that they had like anti-iceberg was it like iceberg resistant thing. I don't know, it was some weird thing they said, but yeah, but yeah, this would never happen because we've got anti-iceberg protection or something. It sounds like a virus protection,
Well,
but yeah.
a computer screen shows up what had happened to the Titanic 2, and it reads iceberg strike, starboard hull, and underside compromised. internal compartments stressed, containment not implemented. Then it's got Ismay dash Rosejack threshold exceed. Sinking impotent. No, not impotent.
The Titanic was impotent.
Imminent danger level assessment critical. Now, I don't know if you noticed in there, it had Ismay dash Rosejack threshold to exceed.
I get it. Yeah.
J. Bruce Ismay was the chairman of the White Star Line Corporation that built the original Titanic. And the Rose and Jack, I think, is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly go through some of this stuff really quickly. Half the lifeboats were crushed, so there wasn't enough lifeboats. Hayden turns into a hero, offering his seat to somebody who was injured in a helicopter. This is when we started to like him. Kelly got trapped under a computer tower. I found this really funny. Kelly was trapped over this like quite big computer tower, and we find her crying, saying, "I'm gonna die." And then this large computer tower that Hayden picks up like it was a bit of paper.
Yeah, just like no, she just wanted the hot man to come and rescue her. She was a damsel in distress. Yeah. I mean, I can relate somewhat to like, I mean, not like to, or like having a computer like, tumble over. Like the first time like I met my, who would become my flatmate for a couple of years, he was outside, he was just outside chilling, and then I got my chair caught on like the desk here, and then like the computer was about to fall over, and but I couldn't move because otherwise the computer would fall over. I'm like, help me, help! And then like you can hear like you hear his voice from outside, like, oh, what do you need? Do you need to call an ambulance? And I'm like, I can't explain. I'm like, no, not real, no, that would be a bit weird. I know. And then I'm like, no, but don't call an ambulance. It's weird. It's not
Call
really an ambulance.
IT.
Call IT, and then he finally I think I called my dad and he came over, and then and yeah, so yeah, because it would have been weird. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I just had a computer that I had an inconvenience. I don't know if that would necessitate an emergency, but it was interesting. It was an interesting way to meet somebody.
There's just one bad person on this ship that seems to be, and like he is the one pushing people and shouting at people and punching people. And some people punch him, which was really weird.
Yeah, we never really like. I don't know. I don't know. Well, we don't like. I know he does it. You don't see him enough to like kind of understand like why he's like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, okay, he's just we need a. I'm sure like if you're gonna have a bad person, just make the Hayden guy bad the whole way through. It's like I'm like, but we're gonna have one random guy that we're not gonna really develop as a character at all. He's just there, and then yeah, I know, yeah. I'll go back to back. Yeah, we're gonna have one bad guy. We're gonna, not gonna develop the character at all, and then like he's just gonna. I guess he's just gonna die off screen and whatever. I don't know.
So, cutting a long story short, that turns into a bit of a video game. And like they're going across water that's electrified, and stuff like that. And anyway, Hayden drowns. They can't revive him. End of story. Have you got anything else to say? And what are your ratings?
Yeah. I've got a couple things to say. Shut up, Jasper. Yeah. Look. We get it. You can watch Titanic 2. It's on Tubi. Okay. Look, I'm sorry you had it on screen. You could have watched it. It's not my fault. Okay. We'll get to Love on a Leash. I will get to it eventually. But no. In regards to like, I will say one other thing is right. Like, okay. I mean, it's more convenient. So. I don't know if you want to mention like this big spoiler. Okay, I'll say spoiler warning. Then so whoever's watching can maybe skip through or watch it. But like okay, but I'll just mention. I said spoiler warning. So there you go. Okay. I did say spoiler warning. I'm sorry that you're gonna not listen. I'm still gonna say it. I don't. Yeah, like so. Yeah, most of the people on the ship. You know, most people associated die, but like except for just conveniently the the captains of the pilot, like Bruce Davidson, his daughter, which he even goes like, how are you gonna find her? Like, oh, I'll find her. And he just does. He just does. Don't know how. He just does because it's convenient. It's just, like, so it's sort of like a movie San Andreas with The Rock. Like, you're sort of tasked with like technically he's tasked with trying to save as many people as possible. Really, he only saves his family. So it's like, really, where's your priorities, man? I understand you like your family more. You know them more, but come on, you kind of it's a bit biased.
Yes, that was pretty cool. What's your rating?
Oh yeah, as an overall film, I don't know. I was thinking this would be actually I was expecting it to be like worse than it was for some reason because Asylum's got that reputation. I'm petting a dog, by the way, so I'm not just gonna just
That's not a euphemism, is it? Sorry, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Hey. Well, as a overall movie, I don't know. I like didn't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to, but I'm still not a good movie. So maybe 2.5. As a 2 movie, provided a lot of fodder. And then it makes me excited for a sequel. Well, the sequel eventually. So I would give it. I would say 4 as a 2 movie.
I pretty much agree. I'd probably give it 2 as a movie, and 4 as a Tubi movie. It was such a fun watch with so much fodder. I didn't read out half the stuff that I wrote down. I've got pages of other stuff that I actually ended up writing down.
Yeah, I think it's one of the movies if I watched, for watching a couple of times, I could pick up more stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, but yeah, that's yeah. I guess like when they this is one scene I got to mention. I'll pick up about this. This is one scene I got to mention. There was like there's one like just one scene that I don't even know why they kept in. It was just like they were we one scene we're hanging out with the Bruce Davis character and like the other chick in the helicopter, and for some reason we go back to this party that's been thrown for Hayden, but like he's just walking around talking to people, but you don't hear anything, or like it's just like it's sort of just like kind of like pretending to talk and stuff like that, and then they just move on to back to the guy with the helicopter. Like, what was the point of that?
Oh, tell them they're streaming. Let's get quizzical.
Quizzical.
I want to get quizzical.
Quizzical. Haven't figured out the rest of the words, but quizzical.
Quizzical. Let me hear your quiz talk.
How's that go?
We'll work that out during the week.
Okay.
Alrighty, it is quiz time. And I'm going to do it on mockbusters. A mockbuster is a film created to exploit the publicity of another major motion picture with a similar title or subject. Of course, Titanic II is a mockbuster on James Cameron's Titanic. So you get what it's all about?
Yeah, I get the gist. I'm taking out what you're putting down.
Thank you. I put down lots of things.
Except for I don't have that particular water bottle.
Don't you?
No.
I'll send you one.
All right, cool.
All right, question number 1. What is the mockbuster for the film Frozen from 2013?
I feel like I have known it. I feel like I do know that because there's a YouTube channel. Shout out if I don't know if you watch it, called I Hate Everything, and he reviewed all these movies.
Okay.
The
It is multiple choice.
Okay, yeah, I might get a multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, Freeze Island, B, Frosty, C, Frozen Land, or D, Glozen?
Frozen Land.
It is. It's Frozen Land. In this
Yeah.
particular time, it actually was a film before Frozen called The Legend of Sarila, which is a Canadian film. But when Frozen came out, they re-released it as Frozen Land to get more people wanting to watch. Oh, by the way, about 2-3 weeks ago, here in Australia, we had the Rugby League Grand Final. In one of these questions, I'm going to make a very easy reference to that grand final. So that's just a little side quiz.
Little teaser for you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
But you've got to yell out when I do it. But I tell you what, it's so easy.
Okay.
So you'll look like a fool if you don't get it.
Yeah. What a bunch of dumbasses. I mean, yeah.
Alrighty. What is the mockbuster film for RoboCop 2014?
Okay, I don't know this.
Is it A, HoboCop? Is it B, Android Cop? Is it C, Droid Cop? Or is it D, Bot Cop?
Bot Cop sounds cool, but I'm going to go with Android Cop.
Correct, Amundo. You're going well so far. This was actually released a week before RoboCop 2014 came out. It's just because it was super cheap to make and all that. They could release it before the actual proper movie came out. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. The mockbuster film. What is the mockbuster film for Armageddon 1998? Is it A, This Is the End? B, Asteroid? C, Armageddon Again? Or D, The Apocalypse?
It's a shame you didn't put one of the options. Armageddon out of here. Armageddon.
I don't do puns.
Yeah, you're above that. Yeah. Give me a run through again.
It's either A, This Is the End, B, Asteroid, C, Armageddon Again, or D, The Apocalypse.
So the asteroid.
Incorrect.
Okay. Well, I know This Is the End is already a movie, so it might not be that.
But remember, this came out in way before that was a movie. So yeah.
All right, I'll go for it. This is the end.
No.
Led
you straight into it.
You led me down that path and just stole my purse.
Stole your purse.
Yeah. Armageddon again.
No, it was The Apocalypse.
Okay.
From 2007. Okay. What is the mockbuster film for the Transformers 2007? Is it A, The GoBots? Is it B, Transmorphers Fall of Man? Is it C, Transmitted The World Maze? Or is it D, Carbots? So is it GoBots, Transmorphers Fall of Man, Transmitted The World Maze, or Carbots?
Well, Carbots and GoBots, I think, are already a thing of themselves. So I'll go Transmorphers.
Transmorphers Fall of Man?
Yeah.
Correct. It is Transformers Fall of Man. And by the way, a little shout out to what's his name? Shane Van Dyke. No, what was his name?
Yeah.
Shane Van Dyke. He did this film as well.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty, let's get on to the next mockbusters. What is the mockbuster film for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008? I thought you may have a joke about somebody doing a mockbuster on Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, it is weird. It's not the most beloved of the franchise. It's the weird that you picked this one to do a mockbuster over, but cool.
Alrighty, is it Alan Quatermain and the Temple of Skulls? Is it is it B, Quade Peterson and the Raiders of Skull Island?
It's so funny.
Is it C, Perry Upton and the Crusade of the Skeletons? Or is it D, Jock Madden and the Crystal Cup?
Crystal Cut. That sounds porn. That sounds very porn. Horrific. What was the first one you said?
Alan Quatermain and the Temple of Skulls, Quade Peterson and the Raiders of Skull Island, Pierre Upton and the Crusade of the Skeletons, or Jock Madden and the Crystal Cup?
I'll go A, first one.
Alan Quatermain and the Temple of Skulls?
Yeah.
Correct. That is the right mockbuster. Now, Alan Quatermain was actually a series of movies like way back, which was semi-famous, but this one
that did ring a bell when you said it. Yeah.
but this one was just a total mockbuster in the Indiana Jones Kingdom of Crystal Skull. What is the blockbuster film for Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, 2006? Is it A, Pirates of the Black Sea, B, Pirates of the West Indies, C, Pirates and the Golden Rock, or D, Pirates of Treasure Island?
I'll go Pirates of Treasure Island.
How you doing it, man? You're getting these. I thought you would have said, "Oh, Treasure Island's already a thing," but no.
Yeah.
Spot on. Alrighty. What is the mockbuster film for Paranormal Activity 2007? Is it A, Paranormal Exit? Is it D, Paranormal Entity? Is it C, Paranormal Active? Or is it D, Paralost?
It's really not yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do them again for you. Paranormal Exit, Paranormal Entity, Paranormal Active, or Paralost?
I'll go Paranormal Entity, the B.
B, correct. Another Shane Van Dyke film as well.
I had a joke once that I want to be in a movie where like there's like a family is haunted by a ghost of someone who's in a wheelchair and call it paraplegic activity.
Oh no. You didn't get the who was in the rugby league grand final? The two teams were Penrith and Parramatta, weren't they? And which one lost? Parramatta lost.
Parramatta, yeah.
So number D was Paralost. I said it right there. Paralost.
Para. Oh wait, I'm a dumbass. I didn't get that one. I am.
It was so in your face. What is the mockbuster film for Kung Fu Panda 2 from 2011?
Let's go to the options.
Is it Karate Panda? Is it Wushu Panda? Is it Chop Kick Panda? Or is it Martial Arts Panda?
I think you'll find that there's probably I've done a few of these things, but there's two that ring a bell. But I'm going to go with Kick Chop Panda.
Karate Panda, Wushu Panda, Chop Kick Panda, or Martial Arts Panda. So which one are you going with?
Chop Kick Panda.
It is Chop Kick Panda. You've gone really well today.
I've seen I've seen the cover to it, but I think there's also a movie called Karate. There's more than one Kung Fu Panda mockbuster.
What is the mockbuster for the film High School Musical 3 Senior Year 2008? Is it A, Sunday School Musical? Is it B, Prep School Musical? Is it C, After School Musical? Or is it D, College Musical?
Run me through them again.
Sunday School Musical, Prep School Musical, After School Musical, or College Musical?
I'll say College Musical.
No, it's not.
After School Musical.
It's not that one either. So you've got Prep School Musical or Sunday School Musical.
Prep School Musical.
It's Sunday School Musical was the answer from 2008.
I like how I either get it right straight
Or
away,
get it really wrong.
or I go through all the options before we land on the right one.
Okay, the final one. What is the mockbuster film for Snakes on a Plane from 2006? Is it A, Snakes on a Train? Is it B, Snakes on a Spaceship? Or is it C, Snakes on a Bus? Or D, Snakes on a Zeppelin?
I think I know this as well. I think it might be on Tubi. I think it's Snakes on a Train.
It is Snakes on a Train. I thought you might have got Snakes on a Spaceship because you're the one that always tells me if anything, any horror franchise goes beyond, they
Yeah,
always go to space.
yeah.
Alrighty. It's now time to spin the wheel of Tubi cheese. And of course, Richie is ready with his. Oh, he is ready.
Phone.
Oh my
I got my
God.
phone. I got
Oh
my phone.
God.
There was for a minute there. I'm like, oh shit! I did it again. No, it's right here.
I had to
Wait,
blur
yeah.
out your bits last time.
Oh look, I mean, maybe if you didn't, we'd get more viewers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know why I bothered blurring it. Anyway,
so I
couldn't
just
see it with the naked eye.
you can see me naked though. Uh, so just to recap, we have thriller, western, action, comedy. Try again.
Yeah.
Because we haven't look. Eventually, those slices will become something else. Well, but I haven't done it yet. Drama, horror, martial arts. Try again. Sci-fi fantasy, and try again. All right, and we are a go. Spin, spin, spinny,
Spin,
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 spin, spin, spin. Spinny,
spinny,
spin.
spin, spin.
Spinny, spin,
Spin,
spin.
spin, spin, spin,
Spin,
spin.
spinny.
Spinny,
Spinny,
spin,
spinny.
spin. Oh, okay, stay there, stay there.
Spinny.
Yay, horror. I'm gonna do this.
Ah!
Horror.
The horror. The horror.
Oh, the horror. I've been.
Who was I doing then? What was my impression of?
Oh, do it again.
The horror. The horror. I don't know why I'm doing that bit. That doesn't make sense. Just the horror. The horror.
Uh, uh, I, I don't know.
Marlon Brando from Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Look, like that was uncanny.
I mean, I know it didn't sound anything like him, but that's the line.
All right. All right. So, to be horror. I don't think we've done a horror, have we?
To be horror.
To be horror. No. All right. Cool. So, we have Bloodbath from 1984.
Oof.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. I can't remember what year that's from, but yeah, you'll put up a thing. The Sand and I Spit on Your Grave, the remake.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, I think I think bad horror movies are better than bad anything. I think I have good faith this is gonna be great. So,
Well, I just let you know, like, we can do it in the future, but I just had to get some Tubi on last night, so I ended up watching Slumber Party 2.
I was going to talk about it, but I was like, man, like, because I've actually seen Slumber Party 3, the Massacre 3, and I was like, God, they're great Tubi fodder. Like there used to be a gig where yeah, like yeah, you'd watch a bad movie and then comedians would commentate on it, and then I didn't commentate on it, but I went to it. It was a lot of fun. I yeah, I did a movie. I think it's got Jack Palance in it called Hawk the Slayer. So eventually we'll get to that, which is referenced in the TV show Spaced. So,
Oh, okay, cool. That's a good show, Spaced. Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Enough of the
Banter.
preamble
The
bit
preamble.
banter. Here we go. And we are off the races. Spin, spin, spinny, spin, spin.
Spinny, spin, spin, spinny, spin, spin. Spinny, 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 spinny.
I spit on your grave.
Okay, the remake. What year did that come out?
2010.
I spit on your grave. Oh, this is I spit on your grave 2 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I spit on your grave 3.
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to come to one where it's actually not there, is it?
What? Are we
Hang
going
on.
to? I can't help it. It's not there. You know what? All right, look, get it. If it's not there, it's not there. I can't do anything about that.
All righty, it's not there. So
Okay.
what is there though is I spit on your grave 2 and I spit on your grave 3. Did you want to do one of them?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
do the second one. I spit on your grave 2.
All right. Spit on your grave too. All right. I also take part in spitting on your grave.
All righty.
Also Jasper, apparently. Josh.
Tubi says, after suffering through unspeakable horror at the hands of 3 men, a young model seeks violent revenge on the people who attacked her. It's directed by Stephen Monroe, and it has Gemma Delander, Joe Absalom, and Michael Dixon.
Good old Michael Dixon.
So yeah, I Spit on Your Grave 2, which is a shame. It would have been good to see the first one and continue on. But anyway, that's all
maybe
good.
it'd be funny. Maybe it'd be funnier if we don't know what's going on, kind of.
Sorry about the interruption, but we've decided yesterday we span I Spit on Your Grave 2. And we watched it last night and we both decided maybe we're not going to get enough chuckles and laughs and, puns and whatever else we do out of this movie. It's a little bit full on. Lots of rape, lots of torture. Good movie. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but
not conducive to humor, though. Not conducive to comedy.
Yeah, and what we do, we like to do Tubi style movies, like, not necessarily the best. So we're going to spin the wheel again, and we apologize if this has affected anyone in any way, shape, or form. We give love to your family. So we're just going to do.
Also, I should mention that I Spit on Your Grave still on the wheel because I accidentally spun it before, and so I had to reset the wheel, and so it's still on the wheel. But if we spin it, we'll just spin again.
Okay, no worries. The problems of spinning the Tubi cheese wheel. Also, just letting you know that Richie's connection isn't real great today. So if he freezes or anything like that, that's the reason why. But he's all ready to go to spin horror to see which one we're actually going to do. That might be him frozen now. It is, because you just had a dog behind you and it just disappeared, like in thin air.
Okay. All right. Being cool. Abby the disappearing dog. Hope she's not gone.
All right, we ready?
But anyway, all right. Here we go. I'm primed and I'm ready.
You're crimed and you're ready.
Yeah, primed. Yeah. All right. Here we go. And spin, spin, spinny,
Spinny, spinny,
spinny,
spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spinny, spin.
The sand.
The sand. All right, I'll quickly check it's there. The Sand. What if it's a really bad rip-off movie of Stephen King's The Stand?
Yeah.
All right, it is there. I will click on it. After an all-night graduation party, college students awaken to a carnivorous beach that devours anything with a heartbeat that touches the sand. Starring Brooke Butler, Chloe Berry, Cynthia Muriel, Dean Gear, and Megan Holder. It's directed by a dude called Isaac Gaboff. Isaac Gaboff.
I think that might be Dean Geyer, and I think he's Australian.
Who? Who did you
You
say?
said Dean Gear, right? Dean Geyer. I think it's Dean Geyer. And I
Yeah,
think he's Australian.
Geyer. So he's Australian, is he?
Yeah, Geyer. I think so. I'll look him up.
We'll be back to your normal podcasting in a second.
Deange.
Yer.
He is a Australian and South African Australian singer-songwriter, actor, and mixed martial artist.
Whoa. What a talented mofo.
He finished third. He finished third in the 2006 season of Australian Idol. Bocce. Yes.
Alrighty. Back to your normal programming. Alrighty, man.
Alright.
A bit of plugs and stuff, including our own stuff.
Yeah. So you can find a new episode every Tuesday or maybe Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Just on YouTube, you could go to Tell Them They're Streaming, click the like, subscribe, also click the notification bell thing so you can get notified whenever we upload an episode. And then for me personally,
And we've also got a Facebook page as well.
I've also got a Facebook page. Tell them they're streaming. Just give it good old like there, and you can keep updated with what's going on.
Comment. You can comment on stuff. You can tell us what you think, even if you don't like it. If you think we go on too long, tell us so we can change things around.
Yeah, and then, if you have any suggestions for other things you put on the wheel in the future, and we'll try to find on Tubi, and then and other than that, me personally, I'm on the Movie Hero Network quite a bit, doing tier ranker and tournament fights. I think the next one I'll be doing is based on Stephen King movies, so that should be fun. I'm also on my friend John Owen's channel doing various trivia, picks and I think he calls picks and lists, where you just sort of you pick and go, oh yeah, who's that? It's usually some kind of obscure actor, and you have to guess who it is, or you have to list certain people's filmography. It's kind of fun. And other than that, I am also at the moment I'm in a wrestling league on combat wrestling trivia. It's been run by a guy named Chris Cass. So that's fun. Check that out. As far as gigs go, you can find me on my page my page is Richie Goodacre, where I am. By the time this comes out, I've already done it, but I'll say two things. I'm doing the Gold Coast next week, but also it's great. It was great. See there. Hopefully that's true when this comes out. Got a fair few things that I got. I think maybe by the time it's come out, I would have done a gig in Ballina, which I haven't done a gig that far away before. So
New South Wales.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I've been a while since I've been there, so especially on like a like a one-day thing, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be tired, but yeah. So check that out.
I've heard that Bell and the crowd love a bit of Richie Goodacre, so you're going to crash it down. Crash it? No, you're going to kill it down there. I meant to say, not crash it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna crash and kill it. Oh, yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. So, yep.
Can I just mention too, Andre the Giant?
Yep.
I didn't ask for an impression last week, and
no.
everybody's asking me where the impression was. They enjoyed the impression, so I brought it back this week. Richie Goodacre, you're doing an impression of Andre the Giant. What's your French accent like? I'm sure that's racist somehow.
No. Hulk Hogan. Me, you, WrestleMania. I'm sure that was even more racist. Here we go.
All right, brilliant.
All right. So with that awkward pause, I guess that signifies the end, the end of the podcast. So I guess I have to do my job here. Until next time. To be continued.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez.
Years later, the world's greatest ship,
Most sophisticated ship ever created, the Titanic II.
let's make history, will sail again.
Have another one of your bad feelings, Captain?
You could say that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I could have your attention, please.
On the same day, the same course, and the same fate.
Titanic II, requiring immediate assistance.
Looks like history's repeating itself.
You understand me, Captain? There's another wave coming.
Find out how fast this thing is moving.
Whatever you're gonna do it fast.
Titanic II.
I'm on the deck of the Titanic, and I started hearing something.
110 years after the launch of the original, Titanic III will set sail in just a few hours on the same path as her namesake.
Oh my God, look at this ship!
It's time of your life.
Okay, it's gonna be the time of my life. Ah!
We have cosplayers, mediums, relatives, and as you know, priceless relics from the original Titanic disaster. Full throttle. Full throttle. To the best crew on the Atlantic. We are in open water.
On behalf of the White Star Lines, we'd like to welcome you aboard this maiden voyage of Titanic
free.
So you thought you could just steal these from their final resting place?
I preserve them so their memories can live on.
Okay, you're gonna want to know what hidden treasures are around here.
What is she doing?
I call on you, you spirits, rise! How long's this been happening?
You are on hallowed water and you have desecrated it.